A picture paints 1,000 words, but when we're teaching English, we only need it to paint one. Images are super powerful memorization tools, and you need to start using them instead of translating. I'm Will from Enchanted ESL, and in this video I'll explain why images are so great for learning new words, and I'll explain my methods that I use to great success. Using pictures in ESL Vocab isn't a new idea. It's been around for decades. But sometimes I feel its value gets overlooked. Humans are not innately supposed to use letters and writing. It's something that only appeared in the last few thousand years, and takes most of us a good chunk of our childhood to get the hang of it. But pretty much anyone can understand a picture, and complex pictures too. We have a remarkable capacity to process and store visual information. Foods, landscape, faces. We do all of this naturally without any training. That's because sight is one of the primary senses. Obviously, there are those that have different capabilities. For example, people who are visually impaired. So the methods in this video won't work for them, but for everybody else, they're golden. You see, there's a serious problem in language learning that is translating directly from the student's native language into English. It causes something called L1 interference. This is where their native language messes up their ability to process a new language. Sometimes the effect isn't that big, but when learning vocabulary, it can be a big hindrance. So when we teach new words, we should show the students a picture and the word in English, not the word in their native language. Flashcards are great for this. You can have the word on one side and the picture on the other. Students immediately understand the concept from the picture and then connect it to the English word. There's one layer less of language processing needed. Now, many of you might be saying, "Well, I know this. Everybody knows pictures are great." Yes, but are you getting the best out of them? I challenge you to consider whether you're really using pictures to their full potential. Firstly, some pictures are better than others. Some provide a stronger meaning and an emotional connection. If you're teaching the word rabbit to a child, you could go on Google Images and get a picture of a cartoon rabbit. That would be fine. But what if that child had a toy rabbit or even a pet rabbit? Taking a photo of that would be much more powerful. In one of my favourite elicitation activities, Word Hunt, students go around and find things that they don't know the English word for, and then they take photos of them. These photos of real things are so valuable because they create really strong connections in the mind. I create custom flashcards with these photos. And you can go further than just taking photos of objects. You can take photos of your students doing actions for different verbs, capture them expressing different emotions, or take a shot out of the window for the weather outside. This is extremely effective. If you're interested in more elicitation techniques, I've got a whole video on it, up there and in the description. Okay, so photos are great. But what if you can't take a photo of something? What if the word is helicopter and your students just don't have a toy helicopter to hand? What do? Well, you could get them to draw a picture. This might not work with really small kids who struggle to draw, but really anything that represents the idea of the word is fine. Is it immediately recognizable as a helicopter? Then it's good. If not, then draw one yourself. Take a photo of the drawing and then use it in your practice. The next step, if you can't get a photo or a drawing, is to head to Google Images. You'll find thousands of images of what you want, but don't just choose the first one. Pick one that you think students will relate to the most. This can get a bit tricky with words that defy imagery. Abstract verbs like hope or adverbs like easily are really difficult to get in visual form, but you can use context to help. If you teach the word in a way that students can understand, you can add an associated image to help the mental connection. For example, you have high school students with a big exam coming up. You could teach the word hope with a picture of them hoping they get good grades, maybe holding up a little card that says A star, A star, A star. Sure, other classes might not see the connection between the picture and the word, but those students will. And if that's too difficult, you can always get a picture to accompany a word and create a context around it. And then add a written definition and an example of it in use. Let's get a picture of a football fan hoping her team wins, maybe pleading with her hands. We can attach the definition to want something to happen and give the example, she hopes her team wins the match. As a last resort, you can add the native word to the definition. This clarifies structural words like because and also that have a grammatical function rather than representing a concept. But you do have to be careful because the words don't always translate exactly. Sometimes they have slightly different meanings and that can create confusion. I hope you're finding these ideas useful. If so, hit the like button to help the channel grow. Much appreciated. So, you've got all of these images. Now you can make flashcards, either physical ones or digital ones. Physical ones are great for using in class. I print off A4 sheets with the picture on one half, plus any definitions or examples, and the English word on the other. Fold it in half and put it inside an A5 plastic wallet, and you have a flashcard. Now you can do all manner of activities and play hundreds of games. Hot Seat, Swap the Word, Touch Race, Random Story Builder are just a few of the ones I use all the time. In the description I've put a link to an article on my website, enchantedesl.com, that is full of flashcard games that you can use right now. Digital flashcards can be even more powerful. You can automate spaced repetition, and you can add other media like audio. And that's really good because sounds are another way of embedding memories deep into the mind. For some students, that's even better than using images, so you need to learn how to do that too. And you can, because I've made a video on it right here. But for now, I've been Will from Enchanted ESL, wishing you all the joy and success in your teaching. See ya!